into the ring. He hails from the mean streets of St. Louis, Missouri, by way of Mount Vernon, Illinois. He weighs in tonight at 220 pounds. He's the old school warrior, Chaz Wesson!
Main event time here in Mount Vernon, and there you see the challenger for the GCW Heavyweight Championship, Mount Vernon's own old school warrior, Chaz Wesson. Wesson makes his home in St. Louis now, but he does originally come from this area. And the fans here certainly remember him, and they still love him. Chaz Wesson in the ring, awaiting the heavyweight champion.
And his opponent, being coming to the ring by Cindy. He's from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 222 pounds. He is the current and reigning GCW Heavyweight Champion, Cameron Cage.
And here comes the Gateway Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, the Las Vegas Lip, Cameron Cage, and he's accompanied to the ring by Cindy. Now, this is a most unique situation because at one time recently, Cindy had been in the corner of Chaz Wesson, and the Jezebel that she is, she turned on him and is now in the corner of the heavyweight champion.
I'm telling you right now, pal, you better watch what you say about her.
Now, wait a second.
Disappointment to me. I mean, really. Your time off made you weak. You can't be the champ. And you know, I gotta go where the gold is. You know that. So, I found a real man who can get the job done, okay?
Jeez, I thought that whining would never end. Well, Cindy, who is... well, if Leona Helmsley wore leather, she would be Cindy.
So you've whined throughout this entire 2-hour show, and now you're going to complain about her talking for 15 seconds.
I don't recall whining. I just called the matches. It's what they pay me to do here.
Well, there's a whole plate of cheese in front of you.
Cameron Cage and Chaz Wesson, what should be a most exciting main event heavyweight championship match. Cameron Cage has been such an opportunist since he won that title. We saw a situation down in Cape Girardeau where DNS and Cindy assaulted Big Bad Ben when he was in the ring with Cameron Cage, and Cameron Cage, instead of being the sportsman and walking away, took a cheap win because of it.
Cage and I have a lot of history together.
The old school warrior, Chaz Wesson, with a wrist lock right now.
And I'll take any opportunity to cost Ben a match I can get.
Well, I'm not sure what it is that's going on between you guys, but it's deep-seated, whatever it is, and one of these days we're going to get to the bottom of it. But Chaz Wesson with that vaunted right hand. That right hand looks to be back at 100%. It is heavily taped for protection purposes, of course. But he just flattened Cameron Cage with it. You know, Chaz Wesson, a former heavyweight champion, and that makes him a contender practically anytime he wants to be here in GCW. On the ropes now. Wesson with a clean break. Something we don't always see from Chaz Wesson, but it's nice to see it here. Clean break on Cameron Cage. Collar and elbow once again now. On the ropes now, will we get a clean break from Cage? No, we don't. Go figure. And Wesson firing in those Cage firing in those forearms.
Did you talk about him bad like that when he was sitting next to you?
Well, it was getting pretty deep in here. I thought I need a shovel, but what a clothesline from Chaz Wesson. He took Cameron Cage right out of his boots. And the champion down on the floor into the consoling arms of Cindy. You know, I still don't know what the story is here. I was not aware that Cage had signed a contract with Cindy.
They don't call her the manager of champions for nothing.
Well, they don't call her the red-haired insurance policy for nothing either. She has gotten involved on more than one occasion. She has been that difference maker. Into the ring comes Cage. Irish whip from Wesson now. Big drop kick right on the jaw. Count of one and that's all.
The fact remains, I had an agreement with Cindy and Wesson.
Wait a second. Back body drop by Wesson. Cover, count of one. You had an agreement with Cindy and Wesson? Now, Cindy's a manager and you're a manager. Shouldn't you guys be competitive?
And there are several people in this company that think exactly the way I do.
I'm starting to get the feeling that the rats are starting to gather here. I don't know what to make of all this, but meanwhile, the challenger, Chaz Wesson, with a rear chin lock on the GCW heavyweight champion, Cameron Cage. And just who is in whose back pocket at this point, I don't know.
Well, I can tell you Smalls is in Ben's back pocket.
Cameron Cage firing his way out of the predicament. Stalking the challenger in the corner, right hand. A chop from Cameron Cage. A second time. And now Cage on the offensive. Uh-oh. You don't want to get into a chop fest with Chaz Wesson. Once again. And he is laying Cameron Cage out with those chops. Big drop kick. Count of 1, 2. You know, and with Cindy's actions as of late, I wouldn't be surprised if Chaz Wesson got her in the ring and gave her a couple of chops.
You know, Cindy's really, really, really smart when it comes to in-ring affairs. And with Chaz's recent troubles, I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, I'm going to leave out any comment about Cindy and her propensity for affairs. But Chaz Wesson right now just laying the leather on the outside to Chaz Wesson. Oh!
And there's that hand.
He missed a chop and that already injured hand bounced off that sign. It sounded like a gunshot. And Chaz Wesson is in a bad, bad way. Chaz Wesson, that hand may be broken. That hand may be broken. And there's the opportunist, Cameron Cage, going right after it. A knee right to the hand. Come on.
Who could have scouted Chaz better than Cindy? And I'm sure she passed along all her information to Cameron.
Well, I'm sure she knows every secret there is to know about Chaz Wesson. Cameron Cage now going for a modified armbar, a basic hold that's made agonizing in this situation. Cameron Cage is like a pit bull when he sees an opening like this. But it's Wesson fighting back with that head scissors.
Looks like a choke to me.
Cage escapes now, forearm smash. And Cage again with that knee right on the hand. He may re-break it.
I hope he flattens it into a Mickey Mouse hand.
Oh, come on. Absolutely no call for wishing that kind of ill will on a competitor. But it's Cameron Cage working over the hand and the arm of the challenger, the old school warrior, Chaz Wesson. And the referee, well, wait a second. Wesson with a rolling cradle, count of 2. But Cage right back. You know, Wesson is fighting back as best he can, but that hand is tremendously hurt.
You know, at one time I had a lot of respect for Chaz, but I really, really have to agree with Cindy. He's really gone soft.
You know, Chaz Wesson is a multi-time heavyweight champion. How can you not have respect for him? Just because he didn't bow down to your will, that's why you think he's soft. Chaz Wesson has always been his own man. He's always walked his own path. And I, for one, think that's admirable.
And look where it's gotten him.
Well, it's gotten him a championship match. Is where it's gotten him.
He's out of shape. Got a broken up hand. No title.
Well, it's Cage now on the offensive. I would beg to differ that Chaz Wesson's out of shape. He's in fine physical condition. But unfortunately, that hand has betrayed him here. Count of 1, 2, no.
Well, that bag full of donuts in the midsection disagrees.
Count of 1, 2. And you hear words from Sadie Blaze, who I assume is auditioning to become a personal trainer at this point.
I'm going to start calling Wesson Little Ben.
Oh, come on. Cameron Cage now. Just working over that wrist and that hand. But you see it right there. Chaz Wesson will not submit. He will not give up. That's the fighting spirit that has made him a champion in the past. And look at this. Wesson go for the pedigree. He's going for the pedigree. And Cage gets to the ropes. Cage elevates him over the top. But Wesson lands on his feet all the way to the top. Flying crossbody. This might do it. 1, 2. Oh, I thought he had him. I thought we had a new heavyweight champion right there.
And look at that. Right back on the hand.
Right back like a hand on the hand. He is such an opportunist. He will take any advantage that comes his way, regardless of the morality of it. Count of 2, and that's all. You know, Cameron Cage might be our heavyweight champion, but he has got a rotten attitude.
He's the champion. It must be working.
Knee drop right to the arm once again. But Chaz Wesson just trying to create some space. He fires back. Once again, out of instinct with that right hand. That can't feel good on his own hand, but it's all instinct at this point. Clothesline over the top goes the champion. And now the challenger has the high ground. Cage back out to the floor. Back to the apron. Oh, come on! Nice shot from Wesson. And look at this, Wesson has Cameron Cage in severe trouble. There's a lot of people that have wanted to see Cameron Cage in that position.
I told you Smalls is in Ben's pocket. He was clearly in the ropes, and the hold never got broken up.
Now Wesson had a 5 count to break that. You know that as well as anyone.
I counted to about 20.
You must be able to count awfully fast. Patrick Smalls, a candidate actually for referee of the year. He's got my vote. Cage head first now to the rail. What a chop from Chaz Wesson. And again. My goodness. We may see what Cameron Cage had for lunch. And Chaz Wesson may be moments away from winning the heavyweight championship right now. He laid the leather to the champion on the outside. Weston to the top. We saw him hit from here earlier. Crossbody once again. Count of 2 and that's all. Man, if he would have hooked a leg, he could have had him.
I'm surprised that a veteran like Wesson didn't hook the leg, but like I said, he's gone soft.
Abdominal stretch now. And he's got it in the center of the ring. He already knocked the wind out of him with those chops. And when you lock on an abdominal stretch, it will take what wind you have left right out of you. Oh, and again, right to those ribs. This is a hold that's like a torture chamber. Now it's a rolling cradle. Count of 1, 2, and that's all. Great scientific wrestling from Chaz Wesson. But Cage right back to the arm. Come on.
How about that for scientific wrestling?
Well, if Cage were any sort of sportsman at all, he would offer to postpone the match due to the injury. But Chaz Wesson will fight you.
Nobody forced Wesson to get in there with that broken hand. If he was hurt, he should have stayed home on the couch eating Twinkies. Like
well, Wesson emphatically stating he will not submit. This is something we can all admire in Chaz Wesson. A great lesson for the kids out there. Never give up, never quit. But Cage continues to press the advantage, head first to the turnbuckle.
I'd have to say that I'm not really even convinced that Wesson was ever hurt.
Not convinced he was ever hurt? This guy's tough as nails. The doctors had to force him out.
I heard that his favorite television show was on and he didn't want to miss it.
Big power slam from Wesson. Hooks a leg, count of 2, and that's all. Wesson now sends the champion to the high knee right to the jaw. Shades of the great Harley Race. And now Wesson has the champion on the defensive. Wesson now with the head locked. He can go for the pedigree. This one, oh, come on. Cindy in the ring. Wesson's, let her have it, Chaz. Let her have it. Let her have it. Nail that Jezebel. Wait a second. Wait. Cage, why has he got a chair? Come on. Oh, come on. He nailed him with a chair. Ref's got to disqualify. Oh, come on. Launch a referee out of the ring. That'll cost you. That'll cost you. An obvious disqualification on Cameron Cage.
Disqualified and still heavyweight champion.
That was desperation. Nothing but desperation. Cage knew he was beaten. He intentionally disqualified himself. Now wait a second. What's he doing with the chair?
Wesson's
No. Well, here comes Cage now getting another chair. For crying out loud, he's going to break his hand. He's going to break his hand. No. Here comes the Outcast. And the Outcast going to town.
What is this guy doing in here?
And Cage running for the hills. Like the chicken, well, I'm not going to say it that he is.
Outcast obviously looking for an opportunity to try and soften up Cage, but not tonight.
Well, Cage sure traded on him.
Your winner by disqualification, Chaz Wesson.
Well, thank goodness that Outcast was here to help a friend in need. But what a night we've had. We'll be back here in a month. But fans, to keep up with all of our action, catch us on the web, www.gateway.wrestling.com. Until next time, for Sadie Blaze, Cameron Cage, and everybody else, I'm Travis Cook. We'll see you later. Good night, everybody.
GCW Heavyweight Champion, Cameron Cage. Let's hear it one more time for Chaz Wesson, the old school warrior.